how much this gentleman, yeah, how much this gentleman loved all of you. I remember sometimes ago, around January or February, precisely when this business started, I had a chance to be at one of the meetings in Abuja, and I had a chance to also share something. And this is what I said, and probably this will also be one of the things that I want to share with you guys today. All right, and I remember in that meeting, part of what I said, network marketing is a personal development program that is disguised as a business. And I repeat, I said network marketing is a personal development program that is being disguised as a business. And this is the only industry that you join in the long run to end who you are. And I'll explain that. And part of what I'm hope this night to be able to share with you is to share with you guys some practical ideas that you're going to implement in your business and take your business to the next level. If you're on the call, especially this evening, and probably you're making money, but you're not making so much as you want to, part of the ideas that we're going to discuss tonight will be revolutionary. And I hope that this information that we're going to be able to share will be able to help somebody out there. I remember one of the times my experience in network marketing goes back as one of the very first opportunity presentation that I had to take a look at. That was in 2010, thereabout. I was a young guy, so excited about the opportunity. I went there and they showed me this. If you attend the normal, typical network marketing presentation, I was seeing pictures of cars, people traveling to different countries, people making a lot of money. And as a young person, that was what I wanted. That's my dream. So I was in the company of people that are already living the kind of life that I want. And the only problem is that by nature, I happens to be an introvert. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is for the reason that I know a lot of you maybe on this call tonight, well, the reason why my business is not doing well is probably because I can't talk, I can't convince people, I can't, yeah. So all those factors, I remember, and I can tell you for a fact, my very first opportunity presentation, when I saw it, I didn't even have money to join the business. I sold my laptop, I sold my TV, I sold my phone to get started. Everybody that know my story in the MLM will be able to tell you that that's what I used to get started. I remember that time in the industry. And guess what? I organized a seminar where people need to attend so that my coach was going to present the business to them and show them the business plan. And I invite over 500 people. And because of where I was coming from, you don't invite people to a place without giving them water or something. So at that time, I remember categorically, it's just like yesterday. So I sent out this invitation and I had over 500 people that I invite to the event. And guess what? On the day of the presentation, how many people showed up? Well, as you predicted, I'm sure some of you already on the call, I said maybe hundreds or maybe 50. Yeah, well, for some of you that said 50, you almost get it. But then here's the reality. On the day of the presentation, nobody showed up. I had food. 500 people promised me that they're going to come, and nobody showed up. I remember that day, the messenger of misery visited me after the whole thing and said, maybe this is not for you. All right? Okay, are you guys hearing me? Someone is saying that it's breaking. Okay, then someone was saying, they said, the messenger of misery visited me and said, maybe this is not for you, Hyeladi. The fact that other people have done this business and ultimately succeeded does not mean that you're going to be successful in this business. And when I was just about to give up, an idea came to my mind. And that thing changed the course of my life and for the rest of my life. And it was simple, right? It was a very simple idea. I remember one thing that my mentor told me. He said, Hyeladi, is it possible that other people will have invited those people and they will have showed up? And the answer is yes. So if I invite people and they don't show up, it simply means that I have an invitation problem. It means up until that point, I don't know how to invite people. You see, if you're on the call and you do presentation and people don't show up, a lot of time people take the blame and put it on the business, put it on the company, put it on this is not the company. I had to be honest with myself. I said, if two people are in the same company and somebody is making money and I'm not making money, then the problem is not the company. If two people are using the same compensation plan and someone is making crazy amount of money and I am not making any money, then the problem is not compensation plan. If two people are sharing the same product, the same opportunity, and someone out there is making a lot of money and I'm not making that money, the problem is, as a matter of fact, is not with the company. And since that day, I changed my mindset. I stopped looking for the solutions to my problem outside and I went in. And I want to start this class, this meeting by sharing with you a story that's going to change your life. I read this story when I was studying in the industry of networking, that time. And there were two books that made a lot of change in my life, and I'm going to recommend it for you. And towards the end of this program today, I'm going to recommend some killer books for you. Those are materials, and probably I'm going to drop some links for people that probably might still be on the call up till that time. And those links are going to give you, that I'm going to share. You're going to have a lot of value, get a lot of information that will change the cost of your business for the rest of your life. And in one of the book was written by Robert Allen. And the story goes like this. He's a popular, famous American billionaire. Okay, someone said volume. All right? So Robert Allen is a very famous man. One day he went out and said, take me to any part of the world. Give me $100. And in 90 days, I will be a multimillionaire in dollars. Now, I repeat, Robert said, take me to any part of the world, give me $100 for living expenses, and in 90 days, I will be a multi-millionaire. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because probably for some of you, maybe after 90 days after this call, for some of you, it may be probably after a month. For some of you, maybe after a year, depend on the level of the desire that you have. This will be your reality. And as a public figure, there are statements you don't make. Sometimes people will challenge you. People will challenge you to what you said. And they challenged Robert Allen. They took Robert Allen to a city and they gave Robert Allen $100. And in 90 days, he bought a house worth $7.2 million. Wow, right? I'm sure that's probably what someone is saying. And sometimes people say, well, maybe it's a luck. Then he said, no problem. Let's try it again. He said, this time, let's change the narrative. They took him to another part of the world and stripped him of all his contacts. And they gave him $100. And in 90 days, Robert Allen repeated the same thing. As a matter of fact, he did it consecutively 3 times. And I hope you can hear me better this time, okay? So, and after the 3rd time, he said, why will people challenge me? Simply because I make that statement. He said, let's even change the narratives. For the very first time, he said, and for the very first time, this is what he said. He said, bring any poor man from any part of the world. And I'm going to share with that poor man or those, whatever group of people, whatever number that you bring, I'm going to share with them this secret. such that in 90 days, none of them ever have to be poor for the rest of their lives again. I mean, in my whole life, this is the first time, that's the first time I saw a situation where poverty became a requirement. You can imagine a situation where people are queuing up to be screened on the levels of their poverty. So Robert took them through the process. After screening them, he took them through the process. And after 90 days, all of them became financially successful. And this is what Robert came to conclusion and said. He said, listen, whatever you have, you can lose. But whoever you become, you keep with you. Whatever you have, you can lose it. But whoever you become, you keep. He said, true success is not about what you get, but it's about who you become. That's why I said something. I said earlier in the opening remark, I said, network marketing is the only industry that you join in the long run to earn who you are. A lot of time, people get involved in this beautiful industry that we have, and the whole goal is not about what I need to become, but it's about how much money do I need to make. And that's wrong, because we can see it everywhere. If the primary motivation for getting involved in the business is just the money, you might be frustrated, especially when the money is not forthcoming as you expected. But if your goal is to become, I promise you that regardless of the company, regardless of the business, regardless of where they take you, you're going to be able to generate the same result. Oftentimes, I remember those days when I was actively involved in network marketing. I've had the chance to move from just very few companies, and literally in every company that I've had a chance to join or to be part of, I always rise to the top. And the reason why is simple. You see, the best thing about going to medical college when you become a doctor is not the certificate. The result, which is the certificate, is just to attest that you've gone through the process. But if I take away the certificate from you, it doesn't make you any less than a doctor. The same thing, if you join this industry, if you come into this industry with a mindset of what you need to become, only then you'll be able to see the joy, you'll be able to see the blessing in all the processes that will lead you to be the kind of person that you're meant to be. And the reason why I'm excited, especially this night, for all of you that are on the call, is just one thing. There has never been a time to get involved in a company, in a business, in network marketing company, especially at this stage, than now. Most of you on the call, you get involved in this company at the best time. There are 4 levels, 4 stages growth stages that every network marketing company have to undergo through and have to go through. And the single and the most important stages is what we call formulation period. In most companies, except right now with the advent of technology that make things even better and makes companies, to be able to achieve some of their set goals faster and earlier, in most cases, the very first 12 to 24 months of a company, we regard it as a formulation period. And I will tell you for a fact that look out there are people, literally every individual that you see that is making millions of dollars or that have made millions of dollars in network marketing company before, their success is always linked to the rare opportunity that they had in being part of the formulation period of a company. Now, this period is usually most times the most challenging period that a lot of people that become the reason why many people don't do the business. They say, hey, you know what? There is no product. The company have shortage of product. Or maybe sometimes they tell you that there is no presentation office in my environment. There are just so many challenges. And those challenges become the reason why many people don't get involved in the business. But as a leader, that's why I'm talking to you, because I believe everybody on this call tonight, on this call, it's a leader. And every leader, you know this for a fact, that the reason why, if you can go back to everybody that have ever made millions of dollars in this industry, they will tell you that their success is somehow traced to the rare privilege of being among the foundation membership of a company. And that's what you have right now. You see, followers try to avoid the challenges, but true successful leaders, people that ultimately make millions of dollars, made all those monies because of the challenges. If it's not for challenges, there wouldn't be success. And because of those challenges, many people say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do the business. I'm going to wait until when there's an office in my place, until when there is product, until when everybody can have their product. But guess what? You're not going to be able to make millions of dollars with that mindset. So the second phase, usually in that phase, the first stage, a lot of people doubt the company. They doubt the integrity of the company. They doubt whether the company is going to be able to deliver or not. But the good news, guys, you know, as far as Dynace Global is concerned, you're at the stage where those things no longer exist. The company from day one have done so much, put a lot of structure to make sure that the business processes, it's easy for a lot of you. So the second stage is called concentration period. You see, whatever it is that you've started at the foundation stage that is giving result, a lot of time, people at the second phase, concentration phase, usually, that's the second phase now, you begin to concentrate all your effort in the things that work to start getting more result, to start getting result. And at that point, guys, at that point, usually there's not so much result, so there's not much thing for people to believe. But I remember one time I had a chance to meet one of my mentors then, many years ago, Mr. Holtenbot, and he told me this. He said, Hyeladi, the only reason why I'm very successful, I'm not the best, but the only reason why I seems to be is simply for one thing. I'm consistent and persistent. So what is required usually at the first stage, which is the foundation period, is consistency. When you're consistent after a certain period of time, up until the second stage concentration period, results begin to show. And now those people that didn't say yes at the foundation period begin to see the result that you're producing. They say, wow, but he told me about this. Yeah, I remember when she started this business. I remember when he started. Can you imagine? He even told me about the business, but I was doubting. I wish I started alongside with you. And with that small result that you're producing, now attract more people to join the business, because now they want the kind of result that you have. And that brings about the third stage, which is now big momentum. You now see people, because as those people are joining the business, those people that get started early are beginning to get more even results that makes more people want to be in the business. So it brings about momentum. Momentum kicks in. There's presentation everywhere. The company is able to overcome some of the major challenges that they're facing earlier. Like a lot of challenges that exist at the first stage no longer exist at the second stage. Guess what? After consistent momentum, which is even the next important stage, which is the fourth stage, which usually, you know, we call it stability. Now, one of the things that determine whether the company will attain stability or not is what happened during the momentum period. For many companies, when they reach big momentum, they go down. For many, they sustain it and it becomes a straight line. And what happened at that stage is leadership. And that's why I have a lot of respect for the leaders of this organization, for the leaders of this company. because they do know for sure that one of the only thing, and they have it at the back of their mind, in their hearts, how can we see this business in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, in the next 50 years? I was reading a report last week that last year there's a company that is involved in product that did about $4 billion in sales, $4.8 billion in sales. The reason why is because they've been able to attain their stability. And one of the key things that helps company to attain stability is leadership. And especially the leadership that happens, the activity that occurs at the third stage, which is the big momentum. And from what I'm seeing right now, guys, I'm seeing a lot of momentum taking place, especially in this business. This is one of the greatest things that I've seen in network marketing, especially in recent time. Seeing a company able to, come into the market in a very short time, move from its foundation period, getting into the concentration period, and momentum is taking place. That's why I congratulate all of you, especially that got involved in the business, and that is also getting involved, especially at this time, because this business, I'm sure from my understanding, is barely 1 year old. So the reason why I shared with you, remember, one of the key things that have to be consistent all through the stages is one thing. And what I said earlier, I said network marketing is the only industry that you join to earn who you are. If you do not become it, the result will always come down to your level. You might stumble on results, but to sustain a result over a long period, you have to be worthy of it through the process that you have to subject yourself of becoming. And that's why, if you have to go to the next stage in your business as a leader, you have to make sure that, okay, let me share with you. I remember one time I was building and I had a lot of people joining my business, thousands of people joining my business at that moment. And just the way people are joining the business as fast as they're joining the business, also that's how they were living the business. And I reached out to my mentor. I said, sir, why is it that I'm working so hard? A lot of people are joining the business, but just as fast as they are joining this organization, that's how also they are leaving the organization. The attrition rate was becoming higher and higher and higher every single day. I'm sure that maybe, I don't know about you, but that was my experience. I don't know if you're on the call and you're experiencing the same thing as well, or you've experienced it as well. So I reached out to Mr. Box, and this is what he told me. He said, Hyeladi, you see, retention in network marketing in the industry probably is a myth. But then, over the last 30 years to 35 years of my experience, I found out that the only way you can increase your retention is by subjecting your leaders through personal development. Subjecting your leaders to go through a certain personal development program. When they get involved, at some point, it's not all time. You see, if your income is dependent strictly on recruitment, time will come where you'll have a challenge with your income. But there are times that maybe people will get involved in your organization. They might not be making a lot of money, but probably they are learning something. Their life is becoming better. And in the long run, things are working. Things will happen naturally. But the most important thing is that if you can make money and become better, but if you're not making money, strive to still become better in the process. Strive to become better. And this is what I found out. That even as a leader, and the reason why we're having this call, I told you guys, is because all of us on the call are leaders. There are 4 reasons why people will follow you as a leader in this organization. Number 1, people are going to follow you because of your past success. People are going to follow you because of your past results. It's easy if you have a leader that had a lot of success, that got involved. Chances are high that you see a lot of people, want to be part of what they're doing. But there's a good news also for you. If you're on the call, probably you'll wonder, well, I've not had so much success in my life. Hyeladi, what are you saying? So is the second reason. It is not always enough to have a past success. So the second reason why people are going to follow you is because of your current result. Because of your current result. As a leader, you need to consistently be in a production mode. You need to prove to your leaders that it's not only enough that I've had results in the past, but I can consistently and continuously produce. And I'm sure probably you can see that with some of the leaders that are on the call, especially our CSO. Literally, in most of the company that you've had a chance to be, it was successful. Every company that I've had a chance to also be part of, I've always been successful. And I say that humbly. The reason why, because I focus on being the person, acquiring the right information so that I can be able to get the result that I have. Now, if you take away all the result that I have, I can go back and recreate the same thing. The first reason why people follow you is because of your past success. The second reason why people will follow you as a leader is because of your current success. You need to consistently show leadership in your business. I remember one of the things, there's a popular phrase that they say that you need to make sure that if you want to be successful in this business, you have to try to make sure that you have people that are more successful than you, your team members. For my mentor, he said, no. That's not only the case. It's true, you need to help a lot of people make a lot of money, but you need to show leadership. He said the moment a follower catches up with a leader, the leader ceases to becoming a leader. So you need to consistently show your followers that believe in works. I remember one time I made a vow to myself. I said, I'm going to be the most hardworking individual in my team, in my company. Because there's a popular challenge that as a leader, when you're building, if you don't do that, one of the challenges that you're going to have is that you're going to have some people that will catch up with you. And after some time, they begin to say, hey, besides, our success depends on him. If we do nothing, he's not going to do anything. And I've had that challenge in my business before where, working with some individuals and then they were doing very well. And after some point, they feel like, hey, listen, you know what? Besides, my success depends on this guy. His success depends on us. And the day I heard that, I said, never, not enough. That month, I produced 8 of their kind. That month, I produced 8 of their kind. And their respect went up. And that's what you're supposed to do as a leader. Not there's this gimmick saying, get people to do the work while you enjoy. No, you're still at the formulation period. You need to lead by example. There's a program I used to design for my team. I call it Insanity Campaign, 90 Days Madness Campaign. I said, listen, we're going to make a commitment that all of us are going to be abnormal for the next 90 days. I call it Insanity Campaign, Madness Campaign. And part of our activity, we do 100 no's a day challenge. Every day, we're going to go out there and get 100 people that will tell you no. Now, not yes, but no. And guess what? Boom, results start coming in. Boom, things start going to happen. Because all those mental enemies, because as you're building this business, guys, there are going to be some enemies, things that are going to try to stop you from building this business. We call them mental enemies. And number one is rejection. People are going to tell you no. But no means not now. But here's even the mindset to overcome objection while you're building your business. I remember asking a gentle guy in my team one time, and I said, listen, you are a traditional business owner. And he said, yes. I said, you own a shop in the market? And he said, yes, sir, you're right. I said, does everyone that comes to your shop buys your product? He said, no. Sometimes people will come to your shop, try something. You may even write an invoice for them, not a promise that they're going to pay. And guess what? They don't even show up. But that was not even a reason for you to say, you know what, I'm going to close down my shop. Rejection is normal in this business. And this is a business. Now, the problem why a lot of people are not making a lot of money in this type of business is because they are not seeing it as a business. First, you are a businessman. So when we did the 100 Day Challenge, part of what we see is that those fear of rejection, people naturally are able to overcome it. So the third reason why people are going to follow you is because of your production. Because of your production. As a leader, you should be able to produce. Don't tell people. My mentor used to tell me then, he said, don't tell people what to do. Show them what to do. And that's the motto of a leader in network marketing. If I ask you to invite people to a presentation, I'm going to make sure as your leader that I have the highest number of people in that program. And the reason why is very simple. Now you know what I do to get what I have. Don't be the leader that will tell people, listen, hey, we need you to invite people to the program. And then when they come with their 5 people, 10 people, and then you have nobody. Here is one truth that I want you to know in this business. Your followers will duplicate 80% of your errors and only 20% of the things that you do right. Your followers will duplicate 80% of the things, of your errors, of your mistakes, and only 20% of the things that you do right. So if you're a leader, maybe you recruit 2 people in a month. There's a chances that most of your followers will recruit none. But if I'm going to ask you to recruit people, I'm going to have 50, 100. What do you think will naturally happen to my followers? So remember, I said the third reason why people are going to follow you as a leader in this beautiful industry is based on your production. The fourth reason why people are going to follow you as a leader, because of your integrity. Because of your integrity. And integrity is when your words matches your deed. When you say something and you do it, people follow you because of that. I cannot cite, I can cite a lot of examples while building the business that I had many years ago. And people say, hey, you know what, if Hyeladi tell you he's going to do this, yeah, we're going to work with him. The reason because of what? They believe you have integrity. And you also want to make sure that you stay in integrity. I'm going to tell you one formula. This formula that I'm going to share with you will not help you not only in this business, but in literally everything that you're going to do. Everything that you're going to do in your life. Right? I call it, all right, success triangle. I call it success triangle. And maybe I may need to write. Maybe it's time for us to start writing, okay? So let me see if I can share my screen. Please, host, is there a way I want to be able to share my screen so that I can write? Yeah, please find a way to help me. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. So your success depends on 3 things. I call it success triangle, and this is how it looks. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, this is how it looks. I want you to write it. On the other side of your success, you need to have three things. First, I call it the right knowledge. I call it the right knowledge. I remember one time that I met one of my mentor, and he was quite very young and was doing well, very successful in what he does. And I asked him, I said, I want to be successful. How can I make the money that you make? And the simple thing he told me, he said, Hyeladi, the only reason why someone makes more money than you is because they know something you don't know. And in the long run, even in this industry of network marketing, the only reason why someone is going to make more money than you, one of the major reasons is because of what? Right knowledge. They do know some things that you don't know. And if you look at in the etymology of knowledge, I don't want to bog you with a lot of things because I'm sure today we don't have a lot of time. All right. But the right knowledge, now, what kind of knowledge do you need to have to be very successful in this business? And I can tell you guys, there are three different kinds of knowledge you need to be very successful in this business. All right. Remember, if you look at the word knowledge, right? If you look at the word knowledge, let me write it again. It's two words. Knowledge. All right. Knowing gives you age. The only age you have in this business in the long run is because you do possess some certain information, knowledge. You know some certain things that other people don't know. And that's the truth. Look at some of your leaders. Look at the people that are already doing the things that you're not doing. Look at the people that are making 10 times more than you. In most cases, it's not that they work more harder than most of you. It's simply because their actions are powered by the right information. So while you talk to 10 people and close none, they have a great sizable knowledge of closing. So it becomes easy. If they talk to 10, they can close 5. While you talk to 10, you close none. Knowledge, right knowledge, right? The second, so it's knowledge. So my mentor told me, he said, Hyeladi, there are 4 different types of knowledge. If you must be successful in this business, there are 4 different kind of knowledge that are useful in this business. Number 1, we call it land knowledge. Learning knowledge, LEARN, land knowledge. These are informations or knowledge that you derive from seminars, workshops, training like this, programs, or books. They are great in themselves, but in themselves, they are not the only reason why you're going to be successful. But they give you the basic of what you need to be very successful. But the second knowledge is even more important, right? It's called model knowledge. Modeling, MODE. Yeah. Okay. The second type of knowledge is called model knowledge, like to model after someone. My mentor told me, he said, Hyeladi, to be very successful in this business is very easy. There are 3 categories of people, 3 types of people that are doing this kind of business. The bottom 70% are doing nothing. There is a 27 to 25% that are a bit successful. And there is a top 1 to top 3% that are very successful. Your job, and if this is the only thing you learn in this call tonight, is that look out for the top 3% that are making all the money in your organization. Learn what they have, modeled after them, duplicate what they have, and you will get the same thing that they have. It's simple. Model successful people. Someone said there's nothing wrong being a copycat. Just make sure that you copy the right cut. I remember one of the times, one time, there's a particular individual that I worked with so many years ago, around 2015, thereabout. And he was sharing with me, right? He was a top guy also in MLM. His name is David Imonite. And he was telling me, he said, Hyeladi, I remember one time when I got involved in this industry, I went to school. I didn't do well in school. So one time I went for a seminar presentation and I saw a young guy that was making millions of dollars. And his name was Box. And so I hired a cameraman. I followed him to almost all his events. I recorded it. I went home. I closed myself down for 2 weeks and mastered all the things he was teaching. I copied everything that he was doing. In fact, I copied everything from the way he talks to make it work. Even the way he walks. For some of you that are on the call today that knows Mr. David and you observe how he walks, go on the internet and look at how our grand mentor usually walks, Mr. Holtenbach. You will see that he even walks the same way the man walks. I'm not saying that you guys should go and do the same thing. But guess what? I said, so why? I said, why are you walking like him? He said, Hyeladi, $2 million a month? Are you crazy? Who knows whether it's in the work? This individual moved from nothing. And in 6 months thereafter, he was making $250,000 a month. Yeah. $250,000 a month. He said, Hyeladi, I'm not going to leave anything to chance. What am I saying, guys? One of the easiest way for you to be very successful in this business is to look out for people in your team, in your organization that are already doing the things that you want like to do. And guess what? In your upline leadership, you're going to have a lot of people that will be ever willing, generous enough with information to share with you on exactly what you need to do to be very successful. But just know that oftentimes your mentors, your leaders don't give you advice. They give you instruction. Follow the instruction. The first type of knowledge, remember, I said is learning knowledge, where you learn how to do things based on maybe from seminars, books, training like this. But even more, you need to go to the second stage, which is called model knowledge, model successful people. The third type of knowledge that you need to be very successful is called activity knowledge. All the information will not be of any use except you put them to use. Right? All the informations are useless except you put them to use. The last one is called teaching knowledge. It's called teaching knowledge. A lot of time people jump process. They go straight from learning knowledge and they start teaching. No. Don't jump the process. From learning, if you can't model, go to activity. Someone said, study to learn. Practice before you teach. But here's what I want to tell you. Study to learn. Get results before you teach. All right? So in the success triangle, remember, I said that the first thing, one of the first thing you need is what? The right knowledge. Yes. Right knowledge. Having the knowledge is not enough. It's just one part of the success. Of course, the second part is what all of you on the call have already got right. It's called the right vehicle, which is what you already have. You have one of the best vehicles that could convey you from where you are to where you want to be. But every But all these things are hinged on one thing, which is you being the right person. You being the right person. Are you the right person? That's why I said focus on. So let me tell you how I overcome. When I invite people and they did not show up, I didn't complain about the company as a leader. I took the journey to your greatness start from the first day you accept 100% responsibility for your success. I said, listen, if I make it, it's going to be up to me. If I fail, it's going to be up to me. But never am I going to blame the company, the product, my offline, my sideline, my downline for anything. So if I invite people and they don't show up, it means I have an invitation problem. So what do? I went online and I devote every material I could get on how to invite someone to an event. I went online when I was presenting and people are not saying yes to my opportunities. All right. I went in straight to learn the act of presenting, the act of closing. So if you're on the call, especially now, and you're having a challenge getting people to see the opportunity, I'll advise. All right. I will advise with 100% certainty that there's a knowledge gap usually. If you're not doing well, it's simply because there is something that you're supposed to know that you don't know. Or there is a certain kind of activity you're supposed to do with what you know that you're not doing. So go out there and make it happen. Right? Yeah, someone was asking, okay, yeah, right knowledge, right vehicle, and then you being the right person. Success in this business is going to be largely based on something that I want to share with you quickly. Right? And a lot of time, the reason why we have a challenge building this business as leaders is very simple. There are three things everybody looks up to you while they build the business. And I want you to pay attention. Please, guys, have you ever wondered why will you invite someone to an opportunity where they see the company, people making ordinary people's life change, people move from nothing to become something, people making a lot of millions, having a chance to travel all over the world, having a chance to be able to live their dream lifestyle. And then yet some people will tell you, well, I'll think about it, or I'll get back to you, or I'll go and talk to my spouse about it. The reason why all those things happen while you're building the business as a leader is because of three things. Number one, and I want you to pay attention. There are three things you need to pay attention to. All right. Three unconscious questions that people are asking in their mind. When you understand this psychology, you will be able to build a big business. One of the first, number one, we call it POW, proof of work. Proof of work. What people are unconsciously asking is, does it work? Does this business work? Does the product work? That is why in your presentations as leaders, it's going to be more of the testimonial than the facts. There's a popular saying we said in MLM that fact tells, but story sells. Closing starts from the presentation. And a lot of time as leaders, and this is what I see a lot of mistake that a lot of us make, we get people involved and we dwell more on the facts. Our company is this, our company is this, our company is this, and we forget the big parts. This is an unconscious thing that's happening in the mind of people. They're asking for a proof of work. And that's why sometimes during the course of the presentation, when people will forget every good thing that you said, people will forget all all the facts that you're going to share, but they are never going to be able to forget the stories that I shared during during the presentations or during the training. You bring someone up, you said, hey, listen, I got involved when this is me before and this is now. The greatest recruiting tool, according to Jim Rohn, is a change of lifestyle. Change of lifestyle. Does it work? Now, I didn't want to ask you that. No. So you also need to consider when you're doing your training, unconsciously make sure that you're communicating to the people. Hey, listen, this business is working. This person started this, and now this is where they are. This person started this with this opportunity. They're able to transform their life to this. But the second question that even people are asking is what? Yeah, proof of help. Are you going to help me? I don't care whether this business is working, whether people are making millions of dollars in the business. The reason why someone will see this opportunity and then they will tell you, I'm going to think about it, regardless of the fact that, remember, this person might have been working for the last 10, 15 years. They are broke. They are suffering. They're not doing well in their life. And they see the opportunity that can change their life. And they still go back and tell you that, you know what, I'm going to think about it. It's because you make them believe that they've not been able to do it. And that's the third one, proof of belief, POW. Please take note of that. The single reason why people don't do the business in most cases is because they don't believe they're going to be able to be successful with the business. And how do I know? I'm going to tell you, we are all guilty as leaders. Right? I'm going to tell you one story. Please pay attention to that. There's a killer point in that story. And it has to do with the third point. I remember one time, I was having a session many years ago when I was actively involved in the industry of network marketing. And, I was quite calm, seated at the back. And usually when you come for my presentations, you usually see a lot of other people doing the presentations. And the reason is very simple, which I'm going to explain to you. So there are these 4 gentlemen that came to the session. Like I suspect that some of them are already leaders in another company. And what happened usually when you have leaders, people that are already doing well in other company, when they come to your meeting, sometimes some people want to show themselves. So they begin to, blow you with this question, try to ask you a lot of questions just to prove a point. And so presentation was over and something interesting happened. I said, some of my leaders asked a question. I said, is there any question? By the way, up until that time, I allow people to ask questions, but afterwards, I no longer allow people to usually ask questions in my sessions. And the reason why is very simple. All right, I saw that like all the presentations that my mentor does, you don't give people a chance to ask questions. And the reason is simple. Sometimes you will do a very wonderful presentation, show a very wonderful opportunity for people, and then someone will raise their hands up and ask one question and will scatter the whole presentation. All right, and share. And then that will sow a seed of doubt in the minds of the people. So usually what I do most times, if I'm the one taking the presentation, I'll tell you, hey, listen, presentation is over. Great, guys. I'm excited to have you in this meeting. And I know some of you have questions, but because of our time, I have some of our great leaders. They are already here. And I'll ask some of my leaders to stand up. And when they stood up, I would say, if you have any question, we will be so glad to be able to answer your questions. So in that way, only people that have genuine questions get to ask the question. But then that's not the point, what I'm trying to share. What I'm trying to share has to do with the proof. The proof of belief. All right. You have to help people to believe. Now, these four people that were seated asked a question. It's a very simple question that even my leaders will be able to answer. But, because of ego, they said, hey, listen, we want the highest individual to be the one that will to answer our questions. So I was there and they said, hey, our mentor is here. I was seated right back. And so they said, yes, sir, we want you to answer the question. So I came up. It's a very simple question. There were hundreds of people in the hall. A lot of people in that hall that day. And that question, all my leaders are looking up to me to answer that question. The prospect that are in the hall were already looking up to answer to me to answer that question. And even the guys that asked the questions were looking up to me to answer that question. If you were the one on the call right now, would you answer the question? The simplest thing is to blast them up, with their answers and give it to them. And that's what a lot of people will have done. But guess what, guys? When I collected the mic, I started stammering. And I was doing that on purpose. I was actually, and people started laughing. They were, people were just laughing all over. They said, no, sir, don't deviate from the question. Just answer the question. And I said, actually, then everybody started laughing. And you know what? And I told him, I said, sir, I actually don't know the answer. Boom, everybody. Oh, like people were just laughing. They say, and the guy was saying, I said it. But you know what? My reply was, I said, you know what, sir? He said, what? I said, I don't even know the answer. And I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why don't you join me so that we can be making this kind of money while we find answers to your question? So out of anger, their team leader stood up and he went and snatched the form from one of my leaders and said, give me the form. And he started filling the form. You know what is going on in his mind? He said, if this guy could be as dumb as this and is making hundreds of thousands of dollars in this business, he said, if I get involved in this business, it means I'm going to crash the compensation plan. If this guy could be as dumb as this and could make this kind of money, it means if I get involved, I'm going to crash the compensation plan of this company. You see, I will have fed my ego by answering him, but I will have stolen from my pocket. One of the greatest things that you have to do as a leader is to help people believe that they can be successful. So unconsciously, one of the major reasons why people don't do the business, they see the cars, they see the money people are making, but they don't. And the challenge that sometimes we do as leaders, when we get on the stage, we try to sound so smart and so intelligent, which is okay, but sometimes it is not easily duplicatable. And you remember, in network marketing, it doesn't matter what works. What matters is what duplicates. I don't want to be the smartest. I want to be smart, but I don't want to portray to you that I'm the most smartest, because the problem is that if the people in your leadership system, in your structure downward, if they don't see themselves as smart as you, then they don't believe they have a chance. So proof of belief. You have to help people to believe that they will be able to be very successful. And how do you do that? You want to make sure that it is simple. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. I remember one way I used to recruit some of my top leaders then. I'm a system person. And the word system, as we all know, most of you are already leaders, is what? Save yourself time, energy, and money. True success in the long run, your millions of dollars in this business is not going to come because you're the most smartest. It's going to come because you've developed a system where you have thousands of people able to duplicate the things you're doing over a long period of time. Where you have a lot of people doing little things over a long period of time. That's how your success is going to come in the long run. So as a leader, one of the things I boss off every day is how many training is going on in my organization. How many presentation is going on in my organization. And the only way you're going to be able to achieve that as leaders is to make sure you encourage people to follow the laid down system. For example, let me tell you a story of how I got to recruit one of the top leaders in the business. And guys, it's very simple. When I had an opportunity to show him the opportunity, I didn't go ahead straight to showing him the presentation. There was a time I sat down and I recorded a pre-record video presentation. So when he came, I said, "Hey, listen, brother, I want you to pay careful attention on what I need to do in order to get you started." And I remember those days there are DVDs. Remember these CD players that you have this round disc. So I bought the presentation on plate, and my laptop have this kind of CD player that we call it ROM, right? So yeah, that was many years ago. So sorry, when it came, I just took the CD and I put it in the CD tray in my laptop, and I push it in and I click play. And he watched the presentation from beginning to an end. And this is what I asked him. I said, "Sir, the way I work and the way my business work is that I don't like to recruit people into a business, especially if I know they're not going to be successful with the business. I would rather save you your money, especially if you cannot be able to do what we do. We have a complex procedure that if you pass that procedure, if you can follow through it, your system, your success is guaranteed. But if you can't do it, I can't guarantee your success." And this guy was looking all of it. He said, "Yeah, what is it? What is it?" I said, "You look at the monies, the hundreds of thousands of dollars I've been able to make, the cars, the vacations, the monies I've been able to make." He said, "Yes." I said, "You wonder how I did it?" He said, "How?" I said, "I want to ask you one sincere question. If you don't have the ability to do that right away, I will not be able to sign you up in this business." He was quiet. I said, "Sir." He said, "Yes." I said, "Do you have the ability to click play?" And he looked at me. He said, He said, "I don't understand." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Can you click play? Can you click play for someone? Can you?" And he was dumbfounded. He felt, "What do you mean?" I said, "What did I have to do to expose you to the opportunity?" He said, "You took a CD plate, and you slot it into your CD tray of your laptop, and you click play." I said, "Can you do the same thing?" He said, "Give me the form." He said, "Yes, I can." I said, "Guess what? Because that's what I do every day." Simple. So remember, not only did he get involved, now he is living from day one. From day one, carrying his laptop, clicking play, clicking. So imagine you have 100 people showing the presentation everywhere. It's a system. It's easy. And I tell him, I said, "Listen, if you have any question, you don't have to worry. You don't even have to be the one to answer the question. There is what we call, and I want to educate some of you already on the call, especially if you don't know, all right? This is going to bring your millions of dollars in the business. Your millions of dollars is going to be tied to this one thing, all right? Now, this triangle, pay attention to this. I want to ask you a question. Have any of you on the call ever shown this presentation or the opportunity to someone and they ask you, "Well, what have you gotten in the business? I want to see what you've made first. Show me your result before I join." Yeah. Yeah, show me your result. I want to, yeah, you've been in. The reason why is because you do not understand what, you don't have the complete understanding of this triangle. A lot of time people say, well, I will not join first until I see you become successful in the business, until I see your results. The reason is very simple. Is oftentimes, most times, when people ask you those questions, is because you project yourself as an expert. You told those people that when they join, they're going to make a lot of money. So this is how to go about it. I remember one time when I got started early, I sell other people's story. And I will tell you, I say, hey, listen, Mr. Frank, I have a chance to see this opportunity, and I have a rare privilege to work with some of the great leaders that are leading for the national expansion of this project. And these guys are extremely successful. They're making so much money. I just got started. I had this rare opportunity to work with them, and they show special interest in me that they're going to show me what to do. And remember, guy, just like I said, I'm just new in the business, but I'm working with people that are already doing well. And it's going to be an honor for you to have the opportunity to work with these people so that we can make the money together. Now, you see, if you come to people, if you teach your team how to approach people this way, they're not going to be able to, people are not going to be asking them, let me see your result. Because from day one, you've already shown them. You've already, okay, someone said the network. Now, yeah, from day one, they already know. They're not coming with an expectation from you of seeing you doing well, because you've already made them understand that this business is not about you. You take it and you put it on someone. So on top of the triangle in your book, I want you to write expert. And on the other side, I want you to write your prospect. And on the other side, this is you. Please pay attention to this. All right? So if you look at this triangle, we call it three-way triangle. All right? Three-way triangle. What exists between you and your prospect? Your prospect trusts you as a person, but they don't have a respect for you as a businessman. Maybe you've not earned enough result in the business to command their respect. So if you tell them, come, you're going to make a lot of money, they will ask you, where's your money? How much have you made? All right. So you should be able to maximize the three-way tool. But what exists between you and your expert is called edification. Edification is speaking highly of someone. But what now exists between your prospect and your expert is trust. And this trust is going to be built based on the edification, based on what you tell your prospect about your expert. And guys, guess what? Anybody can be your expert. When you help people to leverage a three-way tool, it even becomes more easier for them to be able to create a system that can easily be duplicated, and over a long period of time can be able to give you a lot of money. A lot of time I tell people, I say, hey, you know what? You can count on me. If you have anybody that have any question, you can always count on me. So in that way, I'm just giving you an idea, by the way, but those times, those guys will go out, play the DVD to people, and they have question. I tell them, hey, listen, don't even answer any question. Because when you're answering question, what is unconsciously happening in the minds of a lot of people is that, that means I have to be as smart as this guy. I have to be able to have answer to all these questions if I have to be successful like this guy. But what you want to do as leader is to make people know that, listen, you don't even need to be the most smartest guy. The only thing you need to have is to have my number. Create a system of duplication. Remember, this is a numbers games, guys. Anyone that shows the most plan to the most people makes most of the money. If more people in your organization are showing this plan to more people every day, you're going to be able to make more money. right? Yeah. So what exists is edification. So how do you do? Edification is not lying about someone, but just speaking highly about someone. I say, help Mr. James. I had a chance to work with Mr. David. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, someone said it. One of the favorite quote of Jim Rohn. I see it in the post there. The person with the marker make most of the money, which is true. All right. So I have an incredible opportunity to work with Mr. James. And let's say in this situation, in this hypothetical situation, let's go back. All right. Okay. Let's say this is the prospect, this is your expert, this is you, all right? And let's say your prospect name is James, and then your expert name is anybody in your upline leadership, all right? Maybe it could be Mr. John, all right? So the way you edify John to Mr. James is simply speaking well about James. Tell Mr. Jones, let's say, tell Mr. James something like, hey, Mr. James, just like I told you, I had an incredible opportunity to work with Mr. John. Mr. John is an incredible leader, all right? He is currently working with a lot of people, and previously or whatever, just say something great. For example, you don't have to lie about the person, but you just have to put the person in a positive frame such that the James will now transfer a trust to this person. And remember, he's going to trust your expert based on what you share to them. So, Mr. James, I have an incredible opportunity to work with Mr. John. Mr. John is one of the top leaders in our company. He has worked with a lot of people, and he's currently working with a lot of people to make a lot of money. I remember, you can cite one or two stories. One of the last his mentees that I had a chance to work with, this individual that he helped was struggling financially, but after 5 months, after 1 year, he has been able to change his financial position, move from nothing to ultimately something. And I have this incredible opportunity to work with Mr. John. Mr. John is extremely very busy, but he promised me that anytime I meet someone like you, James, that is highly interested, that have a lot of energy, he doesn't even mind taking a minute out of his time. So Mr. James, meet my mentor, Mr. John. You see, so based on what you tell James about John, James is going to listen to John. And when John speaks to James, it's already a closed deal. Remember, your millions of dollars in this business is going to come from the system that you build. And remember, we say system means save yourself time, energy, and money. All right? But here's, let me share this. I think we don't have a lot of time. Our time is first spent, right? But as a leader, the leadership metrics that you need to know, all right? The day my success began was when my mentor asked me to do something. And as a matter of fact, I want to ask all of you to do it if we are on the call. Do like this, all right? And do like this. Yeah. He said, Hyeladi, your millions of dollars is going to be tied to this activity from this day forward. He said, you must always, as a leader, recruit up. You heard me very well. Always recruit up. In the leadership metrics, if you recruit other leaders, you experience multiplication in your business. You experience speedy growth in your business. But a lot of time, most leaders always recruit down. Now, if you know me very well, you know that if I have to recruit you down, it means I'm out there to help you. It doesn't mean that you're not going to recruit down, but you recruit down for help. But if you want fast results, always find a way to reach out to more leaders. There's a reason why I tell my leaders, I say, hey, listen, you're looking for the lookers. You're looking for the greedy. You're not looking for the needy. A lot of time, the mistake that we make, we say, hey, yeah, this person need this opportunity. I want to share this because they need it. You are not looking for the needy. You are looking for the greedy. Who are the greedy? Greedy are people who want more out of life. And guess what? Every successful man or woman you meet out there, they're greedy people. Not greedy in the sense that they want to cheat people, but they want more out of life. Always recruit up. Always recruit up. But your ability to recruit up depends on this last thing. I'm going to use 5 minutes and then summarize, then we're out. I think my time is fast spent. All right? Yeah. So there is what we call success triangle. All right? Success balance scale, sorry. In this industry of network marketing, your success is 90%. 90% of your success. And I can tell you for a fact, you can look through all this industry, everybody that is making millions of dollars, including your leaders that are on the call, including in your own leadership, upline leadership structure, you will see that 90% of success, that's what my mentor told me, is 2 ways. And then on this side is 10%. All right? 90% of your success is mental. Only 10% is what? Physical. What are the mental part of your success? Vision. Why? The why, the reason why you get involved in the business. I tell someone, I said, listen, if your why is strong enough, you don't even need to worry about the how. And I can prove it to you. All of you that are on the call today, if I ask you, let me ask you this hypothetical, let's take this hypothetical situation. If I ask you, if I tell you that tomorrow, by this time, we're going to have a Zoom meeting, and I need you to bring at least 500 people on the Zoom call. One person, single-handedly, I want you to bring 500 people on the Zoom call by this time tomorrow. I'm sure that there's high chances that most of you will give me reason why you cannot be able to do it. Or you come up with one reason or the other. But if I tell you that maybe I give you your favorite car, maybe let's say for some of you that love car, I give you a brand new Rolls Royce. If I say, hey, listen, this is a key of Rolls Royce, all right? Rolls Royce 2023. This car, let's say, is worth 500 million. The car is yours. I want you to enter the car. You got into the car. You drive around. You ensure that all your enemies of progress sees you in that car. And when you came back, I say, hey, listen, you know what? The car is yours. Only that tomorrow, this time, I need you to have 500 people on a Zoom call, or else I'll give the car to someone else. Guess what? Some of you will bring 1,000 people on the call. One person will bring 1,000 persons. What happened? What changed? Why is it that what was challenging, what was very difficult, what seemed mountainously challenging, all of a sudden becomes the easiest thing you could do? Is because of the reason, the why. The reason why a lot of you have challenge, the reason why I'm not doing well is because my father is pregnant, is because my team are not working, is because you have a problem with the mental side. There's a problem with the mental side. The 90% of your success will not be based on just the physical activity. But if you get this side right, then your success is guaranteed. The vision, the whys, the reasons. All right. I remember when I got started in the industry of network marketing, it was a very challenging moment for me. My dad used to be extremely very successful, and towards the end of his life, things become very hard, very challenging. And part of the thing was, part of my why was that there were times that I don't feel like talking to people, but I wrote it and I put it boldly where I can see it every day. I say, do it for mama. It's not every time I feel like talking to prospects. There are times I don't even feel like doing a presentation. There are times I don't even feel like going out. It's human. But my reason kept me alive. I said, do it for mama. Have a reason. You see, the physical part has to do with the presentations. We have the presentations. We have the skills. All right? All the other activity. Here, we have faith. Right? We have faith. Here, we have the work. But even though this side is 10%, 90 times 0, if you don't do any of the activity, 90 times 0 is 0. You're not going to get any success. In fact, the formula for success is found in the all scripture. It says faith multiplied by work. Faith without work is what? Is dead. So the true formula for success, you're going to need to have faith that everything is going to work out. And then you're going to make sure you put in the right work. If you must compete in your team, create a healthy competition where people compete on being the most hardworking individual in that organization. Right? And this side, sorry, yeah, 90%, I said 90% is that side, is the knowledge, the information. But faith without work is dead. And how does faith comes? So remember, we said faith multiplied by what? Work equals to success. How does faith comes? Faith comes by hearing. Faith in business comes by hearing the things of the business. In this business, the question is, Hyeladi, what are the things do I need to be hearing that will impact my growth, that will help me to do well in this business? I'm going to recommend, there are 7 CDs that I want to recommend to you right now. 7 audios that you must be listening to every now and then. My mentor told me that this audio has been what he has been listening to for more than 10 years. That was why he was able to achieve the success he had. When I got involved in the industry of network marketing, I listened to these 7 audios. I listened to them consistently every single day. Only repetitive information drives out doubt. Number 1, I'm going to list them, by the way. So remember, I said faith and then work. In science, we say work is defined as speed. All right. So I'm going to put in add the faith. And this means there are certain things I need to be listening every single day. And I promise you guys, if you're on the call, if you listen to these things that I'm going to share with you, if you follow through diligently, in the next 90 days, you're going to see a tremendous change in your business. And you're not only going to be able to become a great leader, but you're going to grow into that leadership rank that you want in such a manner that you'll be able to sustain that leadership rank regardless of ups and downs. When we talk about the work, it's not only enough for you to be listening to this thing I'm going to tell you, you need to put in the work. And what is work? Work in science is defined basically, all right, as speed multiplied by distance. So the need to is what? Speed multiplied by, if you are a science student, multiplied by time. All right. So we can say it's still equal to success. So the work part here, the speed to which you're going to implement the things that you're going to be learning from the audio in such a short given period of time is what will guarantee your success. If possible, In your own group as a leader, create a campaign. Call it madness campaign. Call it insanity campaign. Call it 1,000 project 10,000. But in the next 90 days, we are going to build a team of 10,000 human beings. Project 10,000. So the fastest way you're going to get into the 10,000, the information that you're going to be listening to, which is faith, which brings about the faith in your business. And then the speed multiplied by the time, the speed in which you're going to use to implement the things that you know, to do the third types of knowledge, which is activity knowledge. In such a given time, short period of time, that is what we guarantee your success. Right? So, audio number one, all right? Consistently, you're going to be listening to Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. Listen to it every single day. I remember when I had a chance, the first time I got that audio, I put it in my car and I listened to it for more than a month straight. And there is something I learned with this information. Every time you hear it, and every time you repeat it, you go back to the same information, you learn something that as though you never knew before. Building Your Network Marketing Business. The second one, I want you to listen to it every day as a leader on this call. Every day. All right? I listen to it till today. I still listen to it, even though I'm no longer involved in the industry of network marketing anymore. All right? But I still listen to it. It's called The Strangest Secret in the World. The Strangest Secret in the World by All Nightingale. It's a 30-minute audio. And when you listen to The Strangest Secret, please follow all the recommendations by All Nightingale in that audio. Listen to it. Just 30 minutes. It's a 30-minute audio. You get it on YouTube. All these informations, these recommendations, you can get them on YouTube. All right? The Strangest Secret in the World. Number 3, Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. An average American millionaire, when I read it the first time I learned, have read that book at least 14 times. When I saw that, I vowed that I was not going to read it 14 times. I was going to read it 40 times. Why? Because David Imonite used to share with me, he said, Hyeladi, humility is not a personality trait. It's recognizing that you don't have something. You see, if someone have a result that you don't have, is doing something at least 15, 14 times. What about you that don't have? All right? Think and Grow Rich. Remember, all this book is talking about the mindset. I'm not even telling you about the how-tos because, guys, the how-tos are great, but they in themselves are not the reason why you're going to be successful. If the how-tos are all you need to be very successful, everybody that have internet, laptop, or any phone, smartphone connected to YouTube, you will have all been, you'll be a multimillionaire. But that is not what is needed. That's why Napoleon Hill, after interviewing 500 richest people in the world as of that time, he wrote a book he called Think and Grow Rich. He didn't say work and grow rich, think. Please, everybody on this call, I want you to get the hard copy of that book. It's going to help you. There will be chances where you're going to pass through the valley of the shadow of doubt while building your business. It will not all be rosy. It will be challenging sometimes, but guess what? That book will keep you true. Think and Grow Rich. The fourth one is called The Magic of Believing. The Magic of Believing by Klaus Bristol. The Magic of Believing. The Magic of Believing. The fifth one, right? Are we on the fourth or the fifth? Okay. Can someone respond to me? Is it the fourth or the fifth right now? Okay. Okay. The Magic of Believing. All right. The next one The Magic of Thinking Big. The Magic of Thinking Big. Very great book. The Magic of Thinking Big. Then, now, all right? Yes. The next one, you can listen to GoPro now. I'm sure a lot of you maybe expect that maybe we can start with GoPro. No. It's a great book. But if you want to be able to build this business for long, if you want to be able to build this business that will last, you need to attack your mind first. Take care of this first. Right? Take care of this first. Then GoPro, right? Yes, I did talk about GoPro, which is a great book. And then, yes. All right. So lastly, there is a popular book out there called Go for No. Go for No. Yes. Go for No. It's a great book. Go for No, not no, N-O, no. Yeah. Go for No. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's already there. Someone just wrote it there. All right, yes, Go for No. Guys, faith comes by hearing. And the reason why a lot of time you read a book and you don't practice it is because 90% of your behavior come from your subconscious mind. And if you read the book at the conscious level, which is only 5%, you're only 5% conscious, it will be difficult for you to be able to practice the content of the book. That is why I want you to stay on the book until the word becomes flesh. Keep repeating the information until what? The word becomes flesh in your life. Until you become the embodiment of what you're reading. Don't stop it. Keep repeating it. Only repetitive information, according to David Imonite, drives out doubt. All right, guys. I know there are a lot of things we could share, but my time is up, and I want to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity, all right, and the time to be able to share just a little introductory nugget with you guys. And I did hope that some of the little nugget that we've been able to share might have probably maybe useful to somebody out there, right? I can't really wait to celebrate all of you guys, and I want to thank my brother and my friend, Mr. Charles Chima. All right, he's a great guy, great leader, and he's an embodiment of everything that I just shared with you guys. And you could see, especially when I was talking about the reasons why people follow you, because of your past results, you've had it, and it's become easy for him to be able to start this. And not only that, you could also see, I said the second reason is because of your current result. Despite his result, he's always out there. Every day, if you check his status, this guy is working like crazy, right? He is here, he is there, doing all the training, doing all the movement, because doing all the traveling, all the calls, everything. He's on the field, leading by example. And that's what I expect from all of you guys. I want to thank you, and I want to, for honoring me with your time and attention, for having this time, to share with you this introductory nugget. And I hope that some of it will be useful to you guys. Thank you so much. And remember what I said earlier. In times of change, only the learners will inherit the earth, while the learned will find themselves beautifully prepared for the world that no longer exists. Let's keep learning, let's keep growing, and let's keep earning. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing night, honestly. Like a whole lot of impact has been made tonight, and then we just really want to appreciate you. Please, I want us to go to the chat section before we invite the CFO to thank Mr. Hyeladi, Haruna. Let's go to the chat section and say a very big thank you. If you have been impacted tonight, go to the chat section and say thank you very much, sir. Go to the chat section and say thank you very much before we invite the CSO to thank Dr. Hyeladi for tonight's introductory nuggets. This is just not it's not just introductory for me. It's an amazing one. It's loaded with a lot of impact. my book is already filled. My book is already filled. So please, let's go to the chat section and say a wonderful thing. Say a wonderful big thank you to Dr. Hyeladi for tonight's amazing class. Please go to the chat section, say something nice before we invite the CSO. All right, Mr. CSO, you can unmute yourself and then
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Ladi. I want to deeply appreciate you for honoring me with your time. I know what it means, and I just asked for this, and you made it happen. But when I put up a call for a reminder, I said I don't have to do that. That you're ready for that. While I was outside the country, I spoke to you too. That we coming. Just got in last night by 11 in the night, and reminded you again today, but you said it's not a problem, you're already ready. And to be honest, I'm humbled. I'm honored to have you speak to my amazing people. Guys, I want you guys to know that this guy is a huge blessing. You need to see the kind of people he trains. Nigeria senior military people, he's one that trains them here in Abuja, different part of the world. People pay thousands of dollars to sit down in his class, to listen to him. But I just want you guys to know that this is free of charge. He did this for me. Just free of charge because of relationship. All right. And you need to attend Ladi's class. You have to pay so much. And trust me, Ladi can speak for 6 hours non-stop without looking at any book. Non-stop. 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. That's the kind of teacher he is. I'm not joking. He can sit down in his class for 6 hours. But he can take us all night. Ladi does classes for all night. Maybe start from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning. And that's on. Whether one-on-one, online, it's amazing. Now, if I flies everywhere in the world to do what he's doing, and I'm so honored to have him in this call. So that's why I keep hammering on the group chat. I say, make sure your people are on this call because you thank me later for having him. And to be honest, I don't want to take this for granted. Like he said, it's just introductory. How many of you would like us to have him again? Can you go on the chat session and say yes, they would like to have him again? Let me just see your response. We'd like to have him because so much. He has not said anything, nothing. This is practical for me. It's beyond theory, telling you blah, 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 and all of that. But this is for me practical. Some of you are hearing something you have never had before since you started network marketing, including myself. Can see my book is already filled up. Myself, I'm writing. So I'm not just been writing, and I'm also writing. My book is already full. All the drawings, everything is in my book here. So personally, I've learned so much listening to him, and I'm so blessed having you here. So thank you so much. God bless you. Like I see all the yes here. Everybody wants you back again for another section because, to be honest with you, it's too practical for me. It's too practical, and I don't know what I've actually done to deserve all of this favor for you to do this for me. I'm honored and I'm grateful. So thank you for the love and everything. God bless you, guys.
Thank you.
Guys, I want you to know that I always have you guys at heart. I always want the best for you. Always go for the best because I want to see you guys fly. Like I was telling them the teaching today. I got back last night. I was in the office doing teaching. I said, what I'm doing is not for me. I just want to see most of you guys get to a level where I can just sit down and watch you do great things, where we relax. That's what Ladi is doing right now. He's no longer in the field. He has trained leaders everywhere doing great things. He just, what he does is just endorsement. Once he says this person is good, you can follow him. The crowd follows the person. He goes to Villa to speak everywhere, but he just one call away can get access to anybody he wants in the world. That's the person that listening to him tonight. So once again, I'm honored to have you here. I love you from my heart, and I know this is just the beginning of great things we do together. Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. So I'll get back to you again going forward on whatever we need to do together with the team. Thank you, sir. We are so honored to have you. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you, brother.
We just appreciate it. Bless you. God bless you. Thank you, sir. All right. I just also want to inform us that we'll be having another meeting again shortly, and that will be for our trip. So I'll get the Zoom link ready and information on when it will happen. But just be at alert anytime from now. We're going to need to plan for the trip and also give you guys a brief of the outcome of my meeting with the CEO and all of that. All right. But I'll let you guys know that before the week runs out because I have a meeting in Calabar this weekend and all of that. So thank you guys for your time, and I think we'll have this recorded already. We're also going to share it so you can give out your book that could not attend. But next time when you hear of a call like this, especially coming from me, please make sure you have your book that attend. Thank you guys, everybody. I love you. See you guys at the top. Thank you and good night, everybody. Bye. deal with conflict.
CSO. We love you, CSO. We love you so much. Thank you very much for this wonderful privilege. Please,
Meet
can you go to the
everybody.
chat section and
Yes,
then go to the chat section and say a word of thank you to our wonderful CSO for this amazing amazing opportunity that we all have tonight. You can go to the section now. Everybody can unmute. You can unmute yourself and they say something nice. Say thank you. All right, everybody can unmute, say what a thank you to our CSO.
Thank you, CSO. We love you so much.
Thank you so much. This is amazing.
God bless you. We love you. Good night, everyone.
So happy.
For all you do.
Thank you, CSO.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
From the depth of my heart, I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.